Hope that everybody is safe and healthy. I'm here to give you another demonstration for the next assignment. The next assignment is called Pop of Color. And let me just get rid of that. Well, we don't want to do that. No updates right now during a tutorial. So we're going to do a pop of color. And here is a finished photo that I have. I shot my eyeballs with my macro lens with my camera on a tripod. And here I have myself in black and white except for my my eyes and some of the veins I have color. So we're going to be using selection tools to accomplish this. We are going to make a black and white photo, convert it to black and white, and then we're going to bring color back through. Just a pop of color. We're not going to colorize the entire black and white photo. We're just going to add some elements of color. We're going to bring back the true color. We're not going to be colorizing. If we were face-to-face, I would be showing you two different methods, but because we're at a little extra level of difficulty because we are not face-to-face, I'm just going to do where we reveal the color back from the black and white. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of these layers here. Let's get rid of that. Here is the color photo. You could see. Let's see, what do I have going on here? A little bit of sharpening in the eye. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten this out. So it'll just be like I'm starting from a color image. Discard the hidden layers. That's what happens when you flatten an image. Photoshop is going to throw out all of the other layers. All right, so now we have a flat one layer. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a black and white mask on it, which is what we've been doing all semester to make our black and white photos. All right, in here, as usual, we could use the red slider. I could pull the skin tone up a little bit. Yellow is going to have a great effect as well. We don't want to blow it out, even though that might be kind of interesting looking. We don't want to blow it out. We want to keep it realistic. Greens, blues, cyans, I'm not worried about right now because I'm going to bring the color back into the eye area here. So the tools that we're going to be using are the quick selection. Okay, the quick selection tool, I can't emphasize this enough, is just a quick selection. It's not always going to get it right because you're telling Photoshop to make the selection for you. So you can use the quick selection to do a quick grab of what you'd like to select, but then you need to fine tune it with either the lasso tool, which is right here, looks like a lasso, or if you press down on the lasso tool, you'll see the polygonal lasso tool. The lasso tool is an organic tool. You control where you're going with it with the mouse. So it's kind of like you're drawing on the computer with the mouse. If I take that, you'll see I can make circles and loops, and I always want to come back to where I started. So you always want to come back to the starting point. Give yourself enough room where you're going around certain areas and come back to where you started. That'll make more sense when you see me use it. Command D. This will deselect our lasso tool, any kind of marching ants that you see on the screen. The polygonal tool looks kind of like a kite or a coat hanger. This is a straight line tool. You have to click at different areas to make shapes. So I can click here, click, 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 go around my eyebrow area. And close it off. We always come back to the beginning. So you can make curves with this tool, but you have to click a lot. Command D to deselect. So I could make a circle, but I have to click a lot. It's not going to be a perfect circle, but it's going to have kind of a circular shape to it. That'll give you a little bit more control than the lasso tool. So if you're not really proficient with using the mouse as a drawing utensil, you might want to use the polygonal tool. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and use my quick selection tool to see what I could pick up on the eye. I'm going to go to my image layer called background because Photoshop doesn't see pixels here. There's nothing there. So it's not going to be able to pick up there. You have to go to the image layer. We go to our quick selection tool. W is the shortcut. And I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to go inside of the eye. I don't want to go outside of the eye because it's going to grab on out there. I can make my brush a little bit bigger with the right bracket key. And I'm just going to kind of swoosh around inside of my pupil and iris here, okay? You can see it did a pretty good job. It's a little bit sloppy down here, but that's what I meant about coming in and fine-tuning it with the lasso tool or the polygonal tool. I will zoom in even more because why not? I've got a 27-inch monitor here. So now I could go grab my lasso tool. So if we want to expand our selection, if I want to make this selection bigger, I would hold the shift key down. See how I get a little plus symbol there? And when I go out, I've made my selection bigger. I'm going to Command Z to edit undo. If I want to take away from the selection, hold the Option key down. See the little minus I get? And then you go in and you could cut out from your selection. So now this is negative space and the rest of the eye is positive space. I'll edit undo by hitting Command Z. Now I do want to fine tune some of these areas because it is a little sloppy. Again, you're letting Photoshop do some of the work for you. So don't rely on that quick selection tool. So I'm in my lasso tool and I actually want to bring some of this back in from the outside because this is part of my eyelid. So I'm going to start down here. I just hit the Option key. I started drawing with the tool and then I let go of the Option key. I like to do short little paths. Why? Because if I try to do everything in one continuous motion, if I screw up, then I have to start all over. Start on the outside, come on up here, come back around, okay? So I'm just gonna clean this up. Some of it might be taking it in, some of it might be pulling it back out. Like up here, I could pull it back out, Shift key. Start from the inside because I'm adding to the selection, right? Shift key here again, kind of come in and fill that area in. Option. See how I went over too far? Well, Photoshop did. Let's blame Photoshop. All right. And let's just say I did a really nice job of that. I don't want to take up too much time with trying to make this look as perfect as possible, but I might as well go ahead and add the eye in over here. Let me quickly just fix this Option to take away. All right. So we want to bring the color back. How do we do that? Well, remember that this is just a mask. This black and white is just a mask covering up the color photo. It's like putting on makeup and then using a cotton swab with makeup remover and swiping it on your face. You'll see your natural skin, but the makeup all around on the other sides. But you'll see that one area of naked skin. So I'm going to bring back that black and white. I'm going to go into the mask. So if you're highlighted over here, make sure that you click on the mask. Now we're going to use a paintbrush with pure black to remove the black and white mask to reveal the color. B for brush. Make sure that your color chip is set to 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You could just drag in here all the way to the bottom. Just click, literally, and drag down and click OK. I can make my brush as big as I want because I have boundaries. Those little marching ants are going to keep all the work I do within itself. So I paint over those areas. And if I hit Option and I click on this mask, you'll see where I remove the black and white. So this is now color. This is now color. All of the white is still the black and white mask. So it's like we cut a little hole in a bag and we could see through it. Option, click on my mask to bring it back. So that's as easy as that is. Now I went a little bit further with my photo. I want to bring some of these veins back in because why not? You know, kind of like, ooh, kind of spooky. Look at the veins. Now, how would I do that? I'm not going to use my selection tool for that. I'm just going to use my brush really tiny. Pardon me. So let's deselect the marching ants over here by hitting Command D. Go to my paintbrush. Make my brush very, very small. Okay? And make sure you're still set to pure black. Pure black on the top chip here. If your chips ever get flipped, you can hit the arrow here or X on the keyboard. So I'm going to come in and I might be changing the size, make it smaller for up here, a little bit thicker for down here. And I'm going to paint over this mask with the black paintbrush. And I'm not putting red. Unfortunately, that's how much red is in my eyes when I took this picture. Very bloodshot. Long day of work. Actually, our senior dog was about to pass, so I took this picture of my eye to kind of represent the mood I was feeling, knowing that was coming up. So I was, not red-eyed from working. Okay, so I have a vein there. It's pretty cool. Let me add a little bit of a tail here, make the brush smaller. Then I can space bar to move over. Ooh, look at that. It's amazing what macro can pick up on. Let's go in here. It's like an X-Files episode, like serpents in the eyes. All right, let's zoom out. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so I can even go further. I could even, go back over or go over some of these lines, bring in some more red. And then I could always play around with colors, I could do some different things to the eye itself. So that is what you're going to do. At this point, you really don't have to worry about cropping anything. We are not printing. Unfortunately, we won't be face to face, but this is how one of the easy ways to bring back a pop of color or add a pop of color to one of your black and white photos. I may end up doing a tutorial on how to add your own colors, but for now, this is what the assignment is. You're going to bring in your photo, do your editing to it, convert it to black and white. You're going to select areas that you want to be back in color. You're going to paint over those areas with a pure black paintbrush, and you'll reveal the color that's behind it. And then you want to save it. Make sure you could save your PSDs for yourself, and then you could save JPEGs that you're going to put into my Google Drive. 5 photos are due for this assignment. Because I was having technical difficulties last night with my computer, try to submit these by Thursday afternoon of next week. I will always get back to you with a critique. If everybody did a good job, like everybody did really well who submitted their work to me for macro, so I just sent out a group critique. If there are things I need to point out to you individually, I will send you an individual critique from your photos. If you have not submitted work to me yet, please make sure that you do that. We are in April now. We are, as far as I know, we are sticking to our schedule for when everything is due. I will accept things during our traditional finals week. When we're on campus, I have no class during finals week, but in this instance, we will go until that point. And that is, I will send that in the email when that date is. All right, any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm checking my email multiple times a day. And I hope that you are all safe and healthy. And I hope to see you in the fall semester. And that would be wonderful. All right, take care.